laughed and smiled. In the United States, cemeteries are always somber. Are cemeteries happy in the United States? No, never. Cemeteries aren't happy in the United States. Cemeteries are always somber, sad and serious. Are cemeteries serious in the United States? Yes, they are. In the United States, cemeteries are always somber. They are always serious. In the United States, are cemeteries somber or are cemeteries happy? Somber, right? Cemeteries are always somber in the United States. Was the cemetery somber in Guatemala? No. It wasn't somber in Guatemala. The cemetery wasn't somber in Guatemala. But in the United States, cemeteries are always somber. Are cemeteries always somber in Guatemala or in the United States? In the United States, cemeteries are always somber. Where are cemeteries always somber? The United States, that's right. In the United States, cemeteries are always somber. Are they happy? No. They are always somber. Cemeteries in the United States are always somber. Very, very somber. We certainly never have festivals or parties next to graves. Do we have parties next to graves? No, we don't. We don't have parties next to graves. Do we ever have parties next to graves? No, we never have parties next to graves. Do we ever have parties in restaurants? Yes, we have parties in restaurants. But we never have parties next to graves. Do we ever have parties in houses? Yes, we do. We have parties in houses. But we never have parties next to graves. Do we ever have parties next to graves? No, never. We never have parties next to graves. Where do we never have parties? Next to graves. We never have parties next to graves. Do we ever? No, never. We never have parties next to graves. Not ever. Never. We don't laugh or play music or fly kites in cemeteries either. Do we laugh in cemeteries usually? No, we don't. We don't laugh in cemeteries. Where don't we laugh? In cemeteries. That's right. Okay. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Did I find that I preferred the American approach? Or did I find that I preferred the Guatemalan approach? Well, the Guatemalan approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Did I find that I preferred the American approach? No, I didn't. I didn't find that I preferred the American approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Which approach did I prefer? I preferred the Guatemalan approach. Did I prefer the American approach? No. Who preferred the Guatemalan approach? Me, AJ, right? I preferred the Guatemalan approach. I found that I preferred the Guatemalan approach. I liked the way they remembered and celebrated those who had passed away. Did they celebrate those who were alive? No, they didn't celebrate those who were alive. They celebrated those who had passed away. Did they celebrate those who had passed away? Or those who had become rich? They celebrated those who had passed away. Who celebrated those who had passed away? Guatemalans, right? Guatemalans celebrated those who had passed away. When did they celebrate those who had passed away? On the Day of the Dead, November 1st. On the Day of the Dead, November 1st, they celebrated those who had passed away. Who celebrated? The Guatemalans, the Guatemalan families celebrated. Who did they celebrate? They celebrated those who had passed away. I liked that they acknowledged death instead of denying it the way Americans do. Who liked that they acknowledged death? Yeah, me, AJ, right? Me, AJ. I liked that they acknowledged death. Did they acknowledge money? Or did they acknowledge death? They acknowledged death. What did they acknowledge? Death. They acknowledged death. Who acknowledged death? Guatemalans, right? Guatemalans acknowledged death. Did they acknowledge death, or did they acknowledge money? They acknowledged death instead of denying it. Who denies death? Americans, right? Americans deny death. Do Guatemalans deny death? No, not Guatemalans. Guatemalans don't deny death. Americans deny death. Do I like that Americans deny death? No, I don't. I don't like it. I don't like that Americans deny death. But I like that there is life, as well as death, in Guatemalan cemeteries. I liked that. Did I like their cemeteries? Yes, I liked their cemeteries. What did I like? Their cemeteries, Guatemalan cemeteries. I liked Guatemalan cemeteries. Did I like Guatemalan cemeteries, or did I like Guatemalan restaurants? I liked Guatemalan cemeteries. Whose cemeteries did I like? Guatemalans, right? Guatemalan cemeteries. I liked the Guatemalans cemeteries. Guatemalans cemeteries. Whose cemeteries did I like? The Guatemalans cemeteries. I liked the Guatemalans cemeteries. Guatemalans call it the Day of the Dead, but it is also a day to appreciate life. Okay, that is all for this mini story. This was a very slow and soft mini story. So this mini story is good for beginning level learners. For intermediate learners, for advanced learners, I use many stories that are much faster and more difficult. But this mini story is for beginners. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hello, chào mừng các bạn đã trở lại với YouTube channel của mình. Hôm nay mình làm video này để nói về giáo trình học tiếng Anh Effortless English. Nếu bạn là một người học tiếng Anh thì chắc hẳn là bạn đã từng thử hoặc là nghe qua về giáo trình này rồi. Tuy nhiên, mình lại thấy rất nhiều bạn thất bại khi học Effortless English. Mình cảm thấy thực sự là tiếc luôn vì giáo trình này rất là hợp lý để chúng ta có thể tự học tiếng Anh chuẩn ngay tại nhà. Tất nhiên bạn vẫn cần có sự cam kết và một vài nguyên tắc đặt ra cho bản thân để có thể thành công với nó. Nhưng nếu so với một vài giáo trình học tiếng Anh khác thì mình thấy Effortless English khá là logic.